Hi there, and welcome to the Sagebrush Happy Hour Journal entry for August 14th, 2025. Yesterday, I also mentioned, oh, there goes Pete. He doesn't, I thought he might like to join the podcast, but he does not like it when I go live. And he's kind of in a conundrum here because inside Annie is redoing the china cabinet, which means that there's clattering dishes, which he does not like either. And so Petey's having kind of a rough afternoon. And anyway, so today I visited with one of our new neighbors that's building their house out in our neighborhood, and so a fellow off-gridder. And what they'd done is they had bought a partially completed house, and it was originally the owner had passed away and had not completely finished their house, and or was about 50% finished, and it was post and beam construction with a flat roof, and they were originally planning to do straw bale. And so the new owners, when they got this about 3 years ago, they basically took a look at that shell, and they visited with several architects, and basically their architects were saying, just scrape it and start over. But they did end up finding an architect that drew them up some plans, and now they're building, and it's quite nice. They kind of kept the original post and beam construction, and then basically framed out from that with 2x12s, and so that they have some pretty thick walls, and they had to pour a new perimeter foundation, and then they decided that they're going to go with a radiant floor, which is going to be powered by their solar. And so that's kind of an interesting arrangement out here, because with a radiant floor, you usually involve pumps and a boiler, and so we'll see how that works out. And also, because they're kind of basically on kind of the hilltop in the neighborhood, they probably have one of the best views of all the homes in our development. And so they've just kind of decided to go with windows on all four sides. In most of the construction out here, a lot of times they will not do windows on the north side, and limited windows on the west side, and then use the east and south exposures for solar gain. So we'll see how that kind of works out, but it is a beautiful home, and I think it's going to come out really nicely. So their intention is both to have able to support an EV as well as a hot tub, and so here we've kind of flipped the coin between the EV electric vehicle and the hot tub, and we're going to try just doing the hot tub first and seeing how we can support that before we kind of make the commitment toward an EV probably 3 years down the line. But it was kind of interesting that they are, their goals are pretty much the same as our goals, and that they want to kind of live, with these kind of lifestyle choices that are use quite a bit of energy, but still be able to do that off grid. And so that involves some solar investment, but it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And now in the case of our hot tub is that I think I'm going to change it over to being 240 volts. So right now it's basically heating with 120 volts at 15 amps, and so it's basically taking. It takes 4 hours to make up the, maybe gains 2 degrees an hour, maybe 2.5. So maybe in 4 hours I'll get 10 degrees out of it. And then each night I'm losing 10 degrees. So if it gets up to 104, which it's limited to, then it gets down to 94 by the next morning. And then you're basically like Sisyphus, heading back up the hill again. So I would like to go ahead and try charging or heating it at 4,000 watts at 240. So, basically 20 amps at 240 volts. And hopefully I can cut down that heating time to less than 2 hours. And then if I can get it to 2 hours a day during the peak solar, on the days that we do have peak solar, and we can max it out, and then I'll be able to keep, operate that throughout the winter. However, if we end up where it takes up too much of our percentage of our home power, and so if it's heating at 4,000 watts and we have a 6,000 watt inverter, that means we only have 2,000 watts to play with in the house. So that means we probably can't turn on an air conditioner or the microwave while the hot tub is heating. So boring you once again with all the engineering details, and so that's kind of what my current thinking is here on the Mesa today. Have a great day, everybody. Cheers.